His website, it's www.loc.gov/vets. Just go to browse right here and you can actually look by last names. It will pop up like this of wherever they've conducted the interview.
A website run by the Library of Congress devoted to military veterans and their stories will soon see a whole new series of interviews from East Tennessee.
I told my principal that other than mission work, this is probably the most important thing I've ever done in my life.
A gentle nudge from teacher Kelli Little and a trip up to Washington, D.C. helped jumpstart a history project now run by students.
And I come from a patriotic family. My grandfather was a military police.
I have an uncle that served in Vietnam, and he actually lost an arm from that.
My uncle was a sniper behind enemy lines in Vietnam.
I have a dad who is, he was 20 years in the Army, and a grandpa who was part-time U.S. Navy.
I have a great uncle who was there at D-Day.
My grandfather actually served during the midst of the Vietnam and Korean conflicts.
Military service in your family. A show of hands reveals this group of students from Cumberland Gap and Claiborne High all share a history of military service in their families. But for a couple of them, like senior Lauren Gilbert, specific memories of that record of service have faded.
Well, my papa died before I was old enough to understand what his service and sacrifice meant to me.
And that's how the Veterans History Project was born. More than 15 years ago, historians recognized the need for a national effort to collect and save stories of men and women in service. Field kits now help train people how to interview veterans, record, and then send those videos, photos, and paperwork for preservation in the Library of Congress.
Every story matters. It's not just the big ones that you hear about. Everyone's experience matters.
Here inside the library at Cumberland Gap, there's a room set up for the veterans to come and do that interview. If they can't travel, the students will head to their homes.
And then they'll ask you about where you were stationed, what your job was, any experiences that you had.
Another East Tennessee teacher and veteran of the Air Force, Allison Manning, marked the first interview for these students.
And it really does make you feel, like you're part of something again, and that people do appreciate.
I'm just honored to make it possible to carry it on for generations so this won't be forgotten.
The seniors have already passed their goal of 2 interviews each by the end of the year, and even the soon-to-be grads hope they can carry on through the summer.
Just really excited that we were going to get to preserve these stories that otherwise would never have been told, that we were going to get to honor veterans in a new way.
Yeah, you can look at a history book, but that doesn't really show you the true things that they saw, they felt.